Vamos a intentar analizar desde la perspectiva de Pekín esta reunión histórica entre Xi Jinping y Donald Trump. Vamos a saludar a nuestro reportero, a nuestro colaborador, reportero de CGTN, Aaron Liu, CGTN reporter. Hi, Aaron. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Well, Chinese stock markets closed lower despite the optimistic tone of the meeting between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping in Busan. What worries investors? Which sectors or stocks were the biggest losers?
First, today, major Chinese outlets and social platforms have reported that the Chinese public is closely following the interaction between the two hands of state. So this high level of attention reflects the significance of the discussions and their potential impact on bilateral relations. So at noon on the 30th, Beijing time, the Hong Seng index rose by 0.54%, and the Hang Seng Technology index increased by 0.31%. Notably, China Hongqiao Group saw a significant surge of 8.17%. So these market movements indicate a positive outlook and investor confidence in the economic perspective following the high-level interactions. So let's talk about the policy direction and future plans. The 20th CPC Central Committee recently held its fourth plenary session and adopted recommendations for formulating the 15th five-year plan. The plan includes proposals to further open China to the world, accelerate the facilitation of regional and bilateral trade and investment agreements, and expand the network of high-standard free trade areas. China will continue to drive the regional economic integration through high-standard opening up. The country aims to work towards an Asia-Pacific community with a shared future, characterized by openness and inclusiveness, innovation-driven growth, greater connectivity, and community beneficial cooperation. So this strategic direction underscores China's commitment to fostering a stable and prosperous regional and global economic environment. And many netizens have left comments expressing their hope for strengthened communication between China and the U.S. They believe that enhanced dialogue will promote exchanges and cooperation in various fields, including economic, trade, cultural, and people-to-people interactions. So the general public opinion holds that a sound and stable China-U.S. relationship will bring tangible benefits to the people of both countries and contribute to the world peace and development.
Xi Jinping said that China and the U.S. should be partners and friends and advocated for steady progress in relations, but a few details. We haven't seen, Aaron, any concrete details from Xi. Furthermore, the G7 is aiming to reach an agreement or critical minerals this Friday, an agreement that excludes China. What do you think are the most pressing issues for China right now?
I think economic and trade schemes of China and the United States held in-depth talks and reached a consensus on solutions to problems. Today, China's Ministry of Commerce unveiled the outcomes achieved by Chinese and U.S. delegations during their recent economic and trade talks in Kuala Lumpur. The U.S. side will cancel the 10% so-called biennial tariffs and suspend for an additional year the 24% reciprocal tariffs levied on the Chinese goods, including goods from the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region and the Macau Special Administrative Region, according to the spokesperson of the ministry. So China will make corresponding adjustments to its countermeasures against the aforementioned U.S. tariffs. So the spokesperson also mentioned both sides have agreed to continue extending certain tariff exclusion measures. So the United States will suspend for 1 year the implementation of the new rule announced on September 29 that expands its entity list export restrictions to any entity that is at least 50% owned by one or more entities on the list. China will suspend the implementation of the relevant export control measures announced on October 9 for 1 year and will study and refine specific plans. So the spokesperson also mentioned the U.S. side will suspend the implementation of measures under its sections 301 investigation targeting China's maritime, logistics, and shipbuilding industries for 1 year. In response, China will correspondingly suspend the implementation of its countermeasures against the U.S. side for 1 year once the U.S. suspension takes effect, according to the spokesperson. So in addition, the two sides also reached a consensus on issues including anti-drone cooperation on fentanyl, expanding agricultural product trade, and the handling of individual cases involving relevant enterprises, according to the ministry. Noting that the outcomes are hard-won, the spokesperson said China looks forward to working with the U.S. side to jointly ensure the implementation of the outcomes and inject more certainty and stability into bilateral economic and trade cooperation, as well as the world's economy. So both sides further confirmed the outcomes of the Madrid economic and trade talks. The U.S. side made positive commitments in areas such as investment, and China will properly resolve the issues related to TikTok with the U.S. side. The spokesperson said the China-U.S. economic and trade talks in Kuala Lumpur have yielded positive results, demonstrating that by upholding the spirit of equality, respect, and mutual benefit, and through dialogue and cooperation, the two sides can find solutions to problems.
Aaron, tomorrow we'll know the data EMBS services and manufacturing in October, PMI. In recent months, they have reflect some weakness, even contraction in the manufacturing sector. Do you expect this trend to continue?
So let's dive into the latest economic indicators, specifically focused on September's data, to understand the current state of China's economy. First is the manufacturing sector gains momentum. In September, the manufacturing purchasing managers index ticked up to 49.8%, a 0.4 percentage point increase from August. This slight uptake signals that China's manufacturing sector is gradually gaining steam, with overall output expanding at a quicker pace. Next is about production on the rise. The production index jumped to 51.9%, the highest level in 6 months, up 1.1 percentage points from the previous month. This suggests that manufacturing activities are becoming more vibrant. Several industries such as food and beverage, automobiles, and aerospace equipment are leading the charge with strong production and demand. Next is about small business bounce back. Small enterprises also showing signs of recovery. Their PMI rose to 48.2%, up 1.6 percentage points from August. This improvement indicates that smaller firms are becoming more active and confident in the market. So 3 key industries, equipment manufacturing, high-tech manufacturing, and consumer goods, are expanding rapidly. Their PMIs are above the overall manufacturing average, highlighting their strong performance. So manufacturers are increasingly optimistic about the market. The business activity expectations index climbed to 54.1%. Marking the 3rd consecutive month of gains. So this reflects a positive outlook among business, especially in industries like food processing and automobiles. The non-manufacturing business activity index above around the critical point, and the composite PMI output index ended up to 50.6%, a 0.1 percentage point increase from August. So this also suggests that overall business and production activities in China are continuing to expand, albeit modest pace. So what does this mean? Overall, September's data paints a picture of resilience and gradually strengthening economy. The manufacturing sector is picking up speed, small business are recovering, and key industries are thriving. So while the non-manufacturing sector is holding steady, these are positive signs across the board as we look ahead. Maintaining this positive momentum and addressing any potential challenges will be crucial for China's continued economic growth and stability.
Aaron Liu, CGTN reporter, thank you for coming to Negocios TV.
Thanks for having me.
La lectura